Alright, seems like the stream is up, so today we're going to work on another MacBook that came from another store, and, well, this is the kind of fun stuff that you find when you open it. So, it does not seem like the board has gotten reflowed, but it does seem like they figured out that you can't use hot air right next to a speaker. Check this out over here. This is some funny stuff. I'm sure Jessa gets stuff that's way worse than this. She's been posting some interesting videos of the junk that she gets, but I don't know how this will went. It's like, oh. So there may be something that you notice when I'm working on a lot of these boards, which is that a lot of the time I take the board out of the computer because I figure that if I've got something that's 450 Celsius right here, that maybe, just maybe, it's going to melt the plastic thing right here. All right. So let's figure out what's going on with this and see if we can fix our problem. So we're going to take this board out of here and measure and see what we can do. Hey, Paul Daniel, sorry, I haven't had time to get your multimeter software going yet. I have been away for a while, and I wanted to jump right into it, but I will for the next stream. Also, we do have a Discord now, which hopefully I put in the YouTube description. I still haven't gotten it set up for use while streaming. But if you want to hang out, discuss things, troll, or whatever, there is a Discord now. Got about 200 something users. Fun stuff, fun stuff. So we're just going to take the board out of this. Someone says, Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Make sure to get yourselves a fixed up 820-00165 for your loved ones. And make sure that when you apply heat to your loved ones, that you don't apply heat near the speaker on this Valentine's Day. We got a couple of good old stuff. We got the long screw and the short hole. Same old, same old. Poor little MacBook. Poor little MacBook. Sad little MacBook. You poor abused little MacBook. Alright, we're going to put this aside for now. Except for this little tangled up little webcam cable. What did I do to your poor little webcam cable? Alright. I'm going to take my MagSafe. I'm going to turn my MagSafe on. And what does it do? It looks like the fan spins. However, if you look closely, you'll notice something that's not quite right in the microscope camera. And the first thing you'll notice in the microscope camera is that I forgot to plug it in. If you look in the microscope camera, once it turns on, you'll see that there's no light on the charger. I wonder why that is. Well, the charger has an 18-volt line, and it seems like the DC-in board has been replaced here, but it also has an adapter sense line, and that adapter sense line is going to travel through this chip, through this cable over here, and it's going to go all the way to this IC over here. And this IC is going to talk to the charger and tell the charger, hey, you're allowed to turn on now. You're attached to a MacBook. Don't you want to be empowered? And the MacBook's going to say, the MagSafe's going to say, I want to be empowered. And then it's going to send through, well, it's 18 volts. And then the system is going to be happy with it. But in order for that to happen, it has to go through this connector. This connector. And we should totally burn the speaker rather than fix the problem with that connector. Because we're a professional repair shop. That's right. Why repair the connector? Why work on this? Why fix this when you could burn this? And people wonder why I have gray hair at 29. All right. So, let's get started. So the first thing we should do is figure out whether we should try and work with the connector that we have, or simply run wires over to the DC-in board, because that may make more sense depending on our situation. So we're going to zoom in over here and see what we have. And this is one of the reasons that cleaning corrosion may not always do you good. So as you can see, the corrosion over here has been cleaned. However, the pin does not seem to be attached to the motherboard. So we're going to open up the schematic in the board view and see what lines are broken over there. And thank you to Jorge for that kind comment. And let's open up in 820-00165. By the way, hopefully the sound is better. I got rid of, I got the new adapter for my microphone, and Paul kindly soldered it on, so should be good to go. No more of that scratchy, screechy nonsense. So if we were to look at the board view and the schematic, we can get an idea of what those corroded connections are for. So let's bring that up so that we have an idea of what we're looking at. Now, if we go over it, that looks like that's J9500. And if we take a look at J9500, we can see that is the DC-in board connector. J9500. Now, if we count the pins, let's try and count the pins and figure out which ones are the ones that are corroded here. So we have a ground one, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, another ground one, and then these two up here that are all gross looking. And as you can see, let me just try and focus that for you so that you can see. Okay, it looks like that's going to be really difficult to get into focus. I'm going to try and make sure that the camera can see the same thing that I can. What we have is the pins are easily movable. I don't know if you can see that. I may have to tilt the board a little. Is iPad Rehab here? iPad Rehab is here. Look at that, Jessa. There's a Jessa in the chat. By the way, Jessa has her own channel on my Discord called Dr. Jessa, where she will try and heal all of your ailments. She is a PhD, and she was commenting the other day on people's health issues. So, this pin, let's just zoom in and get ourselves a nice, beautiful front row seat to the carnage. This pin looks like it is fine. My microscope camera looks like it is not in focus. Let me just calibrate that real quick before I continue so I don't go nuts. There we go. That was driving me crazy before. Alright, so move this back up, and this pin is fine. This pin, even though it looks nasty, is fine. But this pin, that pin looks like it has deflected. That pin has defected. Look at that. Look at that pin. Look at that pin. What's up with this? Let's see, is it both or just one? Yeah, this pin looks good, but that pin is completely off the pad. It went It went full Bo Bergdahl. So we're going to see what we can do with that. Now I'm going to get my micro pencil because I believe that that is completely savable. I don't think this is a situation where I have to run a wire from one side of the board to the other. And I'm glad for that because that's actually a real pain to do. And I don't want to have to do it. Alright, so where did I put my micro pencil? That's the first one. Lewis, I've been watching your channel for about 1 year and I've learned a lot. Good stuff. Keep up the good. Greetings from Syria. Oh, thank you. Syria. Alright, so we're going to try and scrape. Make that something that I can solder to again. Oh, come on. Try to restore those connections. Hey, look at this. Dr. Jess is already solving people's problems in the chat. Isn't that nice? So what I'm trying to do here is I'm moving it up and down, back and forth, is I want to get rid of any of the oxidation, and I want all that oxidation to get stuck on the big solder blob that's on my iron. So I want to kind of get solder flowing in, oxidation flowing out. And I'm kind of scraping the iron along the pin and the pad, and the pin and the pad. I'm adding solder, and I can always remove excess later, so no big deal about that. Kind of do wish I had the articulating stand right now, I gotta say. Oh, come on. May have to shoot a jumper in there. Hello to T Rose. Anyone got a thing on why a MacBook can charge when it's powered on, but when it sleeps, the amps drops to 0.344? That's odd. I've had the issue where it only charges when it's off or sleeping, but not when it's on, but not the other way around. I would check something related to current sensing. Current sensing by the ISL 6259 is what I would go for. Alright. Let's take a look at that and see if that's good and if it needs a jumper. It may wind up needing a jumper. Alright. Is that the blade tip? Yes, that is a T30 can. Link in the description below. If you click Being the good evil capitalist that I am, I get between 4 and 12%. Big. And as you can see, we now get a light in the charger, which means that this is now good. Except for the fact that the speaker will have to be replaced because it was originally heated by some... Well, I decided to stop cursing this year, but that's going to have to get replaced. But hey, that's not my problem because I didn't do it. So on to the next one. So what we did there, let's just go over the vias that we reconnected and what we made work again on this so that it makes sense to all of you. What we did up here, you have sys1 wire, PP3V42 that were broken. Sys1 wire is the line where the charger is going to talk to the SMC. If we were to look on one of these older schematics here, back before the DC-in board was on its own side, and we were to look over to U6900, what you would see here is that the charger talks to the SMC on the sys1 wire line through this chip. This chip over here goes to adapter sense, that's the adapter. Sys1 wire goes to the SMC inside the machine, it's a bidirectional data line, and this chip is powered by this chip, which is powered by Pepe3V42. Without Pepe3V42, when that line is broken, you will not get a light in the charger. But now we do. So, now we continue. Jesse, you have no proof of that accusation that you just made of me, so no. But maybe I'll put some Dogecoin in the jar later. Alright, what's up next? Next on the list. Oh boy, another store. Another store. Oh, boo, great. Joy. Joy. All right. Next, let's see what awaits us inside of this one. So this is an air. All no power, one doesn't boot. All right, let's see. Are you something that's going to be a waste of time? You take 0.6 amps, so you turn on. Or you must do something. 0.6 amps is something. Alright, this one doesn't seem to do anything. And also my way to make me look like an idiot. Alright, so right as I said this doesn't do anything, it decided to turn on. And it does look like it boots. Except I don't get a light on the charger. Well, I'm kind of curious why I don't get a light in the charger even though it turns on. Seems like it may be time to open it. Alright, let's open this up and see what it looks like on the bottom. And let's see if this stop did more damage than they did good, like most of them wind up doing. One of these days I'm going to get a cameraman. Alright, so... or camera woman. Don't want Kathy Newman coming after me now. So, gonna unscrew everything here. Thank you to Andrew Muller. That's very nice of you. Why does Dogecoin Core say it will take 4 years to sync with the blockchain? You must spend this on Jägermeister, says unavailable user ID. Why, thank you, unavailable user ID. That's very nice of you. Very kind and appreciated. Alright, so if we look inside of this one, I wonder if we're going to see the same thing. Now, this store seems to be a little bit smarter than the last store, and that this store did not decide that they were going to burn large swaths of the computer while taking out the board or the battery. So, but you never know. So let's unplug and let's take a look and see if there's anything on this board that is corroded, broken, or not doing its job like it's supposed to. So can you see any corrosion here? Anything at all? Anything of interest? I got my Sony A5100 overhead cam so that you can kind of see everything now. Someone asked Jessa if they would marry her. Jess is actually already married. TCRS, the 2011 and 12 airboards, particularly the 3024, are hopeless. I hope you're not putting more than 10 minutes into those. That's actually too much. Maybe you'll be able to see the problem better if you put the microscope under it. So we're going to take this microscope, and we're going to take a look at what's going on. Hi, my old friend. We meet again. What's up? What's going on? How's it going? Hey, JTAG. Part 2, bigger bottle of Jägermeister. Do it. Well, I can't really drink on stream at the moment, particularly since I haven't had much to eat today. And if I drink, then I will probably throw up in my office. And Paul gets here before I do tomorrow, which means that he would have to clean it. And that would be very unfair. That would be quite oppressive and coercive and oppressive and coercive. So, thank you. I really appreciate that, but I'm not getting drunk without eating a real meal today. So what is this thing called that we have on screen here? What do you call this thing? What would we all call this? The inventor says JTAG. Very good. And what do we do to JTAGs here on the Rossman Group channel? What does the JTAG get done to it? What do we think of the JTAG? Finish him. Yes. Finish her, you mean? Don't want Kathy Newman on us. So, let's turn this soldering iron on. Let's get on the air filter and get to the sport of killing the JTAG connector. Gonna rip that connector right off the board, toss it out, break its back, F its ass, make it humble old country way. Indeed. Yes, kill it with fire. It's gonna be gone. Ice, ice, baby. Wait, no, that's wrong meme. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell this JTAG how I'm feeling. I gotta make it understand that I'm never gonna give it up. I'm never gonna let it down. I'm never gonna run around and desert this JTAG connector. I'm never gonna make it cry. But I will make it say goodbye. I won't tell a lie or hurt it. We've known each other for so long. This JTAG connector's heart's been aching, but it's too shy to say it. Inside, we both know what's going on. We know the game, and we're gonna play it. And if this JTAG connector asks me how I'm feeling, don't tell me you're too blind to see the corrosion on it. Oh, look at the poor little pad that got ripped on the JTAG connector. That may mean that if this ever makes its way back to Apple's refurbishing center, it'll be harder for them to program it. Oh no! It may be harder for Apple to fix this if it ever makes it back to their own refurbishing labs. What will we do? GTFO. 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 Da da. Da da. Bye bye. JTAG. I have that Kurt Angle theme song in my head now. Da da. Da da. You suck. You suck. Anybody watch wrestling in the late 90s, early 2000s? Good stuff there. I don't think we've removed enough JTAG pads. Alright, let's take a look at the connector. Looks like a nice connector. Doesn't look like anything's wrong with that connector. Doesn't look like anything's wrong with that DC-in board. It's time for that DC-in board to tell me how it's feeling. Let's see if I can make that DC-in board understand. But wait, there's corrosion on it. What's that? This DC-in board may not be fully acceptable, but there's one way to find out. I don't really care about what this cable's for. That's not for anything related to the charging light turning on. So we're just going to plug this thing back in and see what happens. Seems like we still don't get a light in the charger. But we do get fan spin, but no light in the charger. Alright, this is going to take a little bit more work than the last one, so let's take the board out, because I don't want to burn the case to pieces, or be an idiot. Where's our torque screwdriver now? Hello, T5. Here we go. Got my T5 screwdriver right here. And we're going to take all this stuff out. Now, this may just need a different DC-in board. If that's the case, well, we could actually probably figure that out just by measuring. You know what? Before we take the board out, let's just see if we could fix this with a single jumper wire. Because I'm feeling lazy tonight. And I want to get out of here and get my burrito before my favorite burrito place closes. Now, remember what I said about this chip? Gets PP3V42 and then sends it to this chip? Well, if we were to take a look on any old board view, let's just take the board view for this 820-3332 Retina. And by the way, the reason I'm not using the board view for this model board is because here, the one-wire circuit is not on the main motherboard, it's on the DC-in board, which I don't have a schematic for. So, but since it uses the same chip, since they use the same chip, this one, in the 2012 Retina and in the 2015 and 14 Air, I can assume safely that it's the same thing. So what I would do is I would check and figure out which one of those pins is the pin that gets Pepe 3V42. So let's check that out. Now if we go down here, where that's supposed to be, here we go. So so on the side with two pins, the one to the right, when it's on the bottom, is the one that gets Pepe 3V42. We're going to turn on our multimeter, put it in voltage mode, get it in serial, so that you can see it on the screen. Look at that fancy multimeter, fancy $160 serial multimeter that updates at like 2 hertz. I can't wait to try Paul Daniels' new software that's supposed to make this all better. All right, let's see what we get. So over here, I'm supposed to be getting 3.42 volts. And it appears that instead of 3.42 volts, I get 0 volts. That's no good. That's no good. All right, so something is wrong with this DC-in board because it's not passing over what it's supposed to. Let's just take a look now and see what we're getting on the main motherboard itself. So it looks like this is an 820-3435. So I'm going to open up a schematic for an 820-3435, and we're going to dig right in and figure out where our 3.42 volts is going missing. Why is that crap stuck in my head? All right, so pin 1 is Pepe 3V42. So we need that to get over to the other side of the board. We need 3.42 volts to get over to the DC-in board in order for the one-wire circuit to work. So let's check that pin 1 over here. And we do get 3.43 volts there. So the problem with our previous board is that that connector was broken. But here the connector is not broken. It's getting 3.42 volts. So the issue has to be either the cable or this DC-in board that's in the wrong. Thank you to Master Singleton. I really appreciate that. We will kill all the JTAG connectors until this board has a working one-wire circuit. You can trust that. So on this connector, it looks like pin 1, I'm not sure which one pin 1 would be, honestly, so I'm just looking at all the pins in the corners. But every pin on here looks fine. I don't see any corrosion there, or there. And if we look over here, this also looks fine. I don't see any corrosion here, here, or here. That's a perfect cable. Let's take a look around the board then. So let's just turn off my power supply because I don't want to touch anything with metal that I shouldn't. And it looks, let's see, the connector. Do we have corrosion in any corner of this connector here? Let's see. This pin looks good to me. This looks good to me. This looks good to me. That seems fine to me. So it must be the pathway that's broken. So what do we do if it's the pathway that's broken? Well, we're going to have to revive the pathway now, aren't we? I kind of wonder, is this it? I honestly am not really completely familiar with the inner workings of an 11-inch DC-in board. Maybe that's it. But one of those is supposed to be 3.42 volts, and it's not. So which which pathway is this supposed to be taking? So this over here, okay, it's going under somewhere. So see this? See this pathway? This is where Pepe 3V42 is supposed to show up. And it goes under here. But after it goes under there, who the hell knows where it actually winds up. Now, it could be any one of these pins. It can be this pin 1, could be pin 1, that could be pin 1, or that could be pin 1. And I don't really have a way of knowing which one is the actual pin 1. I wonder which one is the actual pin 1. You just inspired me to work on my own electronics. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So how do we know which one's pin 1? How do we know which one is pin 1? Well, I have no idea. We could just try them all at random. Or if we really wanted to be, unprofessional with it, we could just run a wire over from the DC-in board to this one and call it good. So let's see. So Pepe 3V42 is over there. We could find Pepe 3V42 over here. Bam. And we could just run a wire all the way to the other side of the board, which is totally probably not the most professional thing to do. But, yeah, let's see if that's the case before we take the screws out. Okay. So. Alright, so let's wait. This soldering iron tip is not the right one. And the iron's gonna beep. Hacko gonna beep. Hacko's gonna beep, right? This one. Corroded point under the ribbon cable was the 3.42 volt path, and it's broken. You mean this thing? That one? I wonder if that is it. Let's see. Ah, spam. Go away. Spam. Okay. Ah. If that was it, I can run a much shorter wire. Granted, that DC-in board and this board in general should get ultrasonic entirely, but I kind of want to leave that to tomorrow. Let's make that tomorrow's problem. All right. Nope, no 3.42 volts there. Lame. Not it. Maybe if we type the Sailor Moon lyrics, we'll stop rickrolling. Oh, don't get that stuck in my head. Please, why'd you get that stuck in my head? It's not gonna go. I deserve that. I really deserve that. I deserve to get that stuck in my head. That's what I get. Alright. This is Pepe 3v42. It's gonna run a wire here from our Pepe 3v42 over to the over to the DC-in board. And tomorrow we can actually replace it. This is the height of laziness. I'd rather run a jumper wire than remove a board. This is the height of laziness. Where'd I put that jumper wire that I just picked off? Here, jumper wire, wire. Alright. That is, yep, I tried to make that a nice big solder bridge for you all. Only the biggest solder bridges for the people that watch this channel. Only the most obnoxious solder bridges for all of you. Alright, so that wire is going to go all the way over here. Just for testing purposes. Just for testing purposes. Don't you Kathy Newman me and tell me that this is... Are you saying this is how you fix things for customers? No. This is... Is this how you turn Macs into PCs when you replace components on them? No. Aspirin can clean insulation of thin wire with iron. No scraping needed for body's work. Huh. I didn't know that. I learned something. Thank you. Okay, that's a terrible bodge wire, but it's just for the temporary, totally temporary, bro. All right. Plug you in. Let you down. Run around on you. All right. Is this MagSafe circuit ever going to say goodbye? Oh, orange light. 2 out of 2, baby. All right, let's continue down the line. Looks like we've got another working board. Should I send it back looking like this, though? Oh man, look at that! Look at that! That is professional right there. That is professional. Look at that! Look at that! Well, you could look. I made a little guitar. Oh man. Yeah, I gotta replace the DC-in board, but hey, we got a light. This is totally temporary. This is I know some bastard's gonna take this out of context, like the Apple attorneys tried to do with Jessa a few weeks ago and failed. I went over that in the Do Not Accept the Premise of Assholes video. I did a good monologue on how I think that should have went with Jessa in the Do Not Accept the Premise of Assholes video. Anyway, we've got another one fixed, another one-wire circuit solved. We solved the one-wire circuit by running one wire. See? We've stayed true to the name. All right. Next board. You should burn a heart into the boards today, says T-Rose. Maybe I will on the next one. Just sign it on the fan and send it out, just like Bob Ross. I should. I think this is the signature, though. I think this is the signature. I don't think Steve would let me send it like that, though, which is sad, because that would be really cool if I got to send stuff like that. Next up on the list, another one from the same place. All right. Well, at least this place didn't screw with it, so I'm happy. All right. Let's take this one apart and see what it does. But I gotta get out of here soon because I'm very hungry. I haven't had anything to eat except this crappy little... I got food at one of these crappy vegetarian places where they don't actually make real food. They just take the meat out of the regular options and then call it vegetarian and charge the same amount of money. I hate those places. But sometimes when you're traveling and you don't have something available. Let me get some more magnets here before we continue. I think it would be beneficial if I had some more magnets here. I gotta take all the easy ones before Paul comes in tomorrow. Can't leave Paul anything simple. All right, next one. Next air. Kind of thirsty too. You're always hungry. I am. I have a high appetite. Metcal or Hacko, Lewis? I haven't tried any of the Metcal standard stations. I've tried the Metcal hot air when I was with Jessa, but it's equally as meh as... It's kind of like a Hacko FR801. Like 2011, it was cool. In 2018, it's not. I haven't tried their regular stations, but I like Hacko just for the tip choice and all that. Bye-bye in the Twitch. Somebody's posting viruses in my Twitch chat. You You bastard. Why the gloves? Because people's computers are nasty. They don't take care of them or clean them, and they're nasty inside. Which is why they wind up here to begin with. Okay. Let's see, what does this one do? What does this one do? No green light in the charger. No orange light in the charger. Alright, we're going to take the board out and go from there. I got to find the new marketing campaign. Went to Massachusetts the other day, and I was walking by this place that makes this nice sandwich that I like. And it had this sign, and it said, "Our soups fight climate change." I'm thinking of doing, I got to get on this cultural wave. I got to get on this if we're going to really stay relevant and make money. You know, I'm thinking of getting something that says, like, my soldering iron fights the wage gap or something. I like putting it in the window. I got to come up with something similar. I was going to post it to Instagram, but I was getting flaky internet in the area. I got to think of something. I was thinking like I don't know if I should make it broad or specific, nor do I know if I should make it something where there's like a double entendre where you can't even tell if it's trolling or not. But I was reading and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Like, our soup fights climate change. Like, oh my God. I guess the marketing is good. It does speak to the voice of a generation that wants to feel like they're fighting injustice with the choice of soup they're buying rather than fighting the actual injustices and by doing something meaningful within their own lives or improving the world or accomplishing something. Like, it ties into that thing, that feeling that people want. To feel like they're always on the good side. I'm thinking. Clover, that was the restaurant name. It was Clover in Massachusetts. It had said amazing sandwiches, really good stuff. I liked it. And they're not paying me to say that. I love their sandwiches. But it said, I walked and I just I almost shit myself laughing. Our soup fights climate change. Oh, man. Yep, and my soldering iron fights the wage gap. All right, so let's take this board out of here and see what it looks like. Quantum soldering. You should use the word quantum soldering. I agree. I think that works. Jean says, my screwdriver supports #MeToo. Jessa says, yes, the soldering iron wage gap one. Oh God, what trolling is going on here? How can one contact you for legit and serious business proposal? You can't. You can't. I've never gotten a contact for a serious business proposal. I've gotten a lot of contacts for bullshit, but I haven't gotten any for a serious business proposal. So you can't. There's no avenue. And I'm willing to skip out on the fact that, so one person out there may be saying, hey, Lewis, I'd like to just give you $1 million because I love what you do. I'm willing to miss out on that because like 99.9% of it is, I have a great idea for a franchise. It's totally not been tried before by everybody else and ended in terrible results, but you should allow me to try it with your business name. Or, no, I don't know. I got too much junk. All right, so there is no way to contact me. I'm the Wizard of Oz. I'm behind the curtain, and I'm not going to tell you where the curtain is. Okay, let's see. Where is our corrosion? Lewis, you make it seem easy. Is this as easy as you make it seem? It depends. Are you married? No, I am not married. That's a scary word, man. All right, so let's go over let's just try and fix up some of these points that are clearly corroded. What wire do you use for bodge wires? You should see it in the YouTube description, and if you're in Twitch, I guess go over and see the YouTube description, because I haven't really made the time to make my Twitch look pretty yet. I got some nice links to the exact wires and stuff that I use. It's Magna wire. clean up all these points. Some nice flux. Look at that. Flux solder. No L in solder. Someone says my hot air station is fighting global warming. Oh yeah, mine too, man. Mine too. Jessa says I got my MacBook repaired here. Hashtag me too. That may backfire, ever so slightly. I did see an interesting sign recently. It was something along the lines of it was trying to combine the Me Too movement with socialism. I posted it on my Instagram. Got some interesting comments, some raging comments from both sides. Some, oh, here we go, another one. The world has lost its mind. Hey, look, people are talking about sexual assault. Let me use that as an opportunity to push my agenda for an economic theory that never works. Lame. People are crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Alright, so there's a broken probe point up here, but this is by a Thunderbolt chip. I'm not really as concerned about that. Not really as concerned about that. Don't know what that's... But this more concerns me. Whatever's going on over there really concerns me, so I'm gonna heat that up, flux it up a little bit, go from there. You should reward Twitch chat for behaving by making things pretty soon. Perhaps. I'm not really good at making things pretty. I mean, if you saw the look of my office or the look of my face, I'm not really good at, at making things pretty. Let's heat this up. Alright, baby. Never gonna heat you up. Never gonna flux you down. Oh yeah. Do you clear the white balance lately or just clear the lenses? Neither of the above, actually. What do you think of Asus laptops hardware repair-wise? Haven't opened a bunch of them. The few that I have are like the sub $700 ones are really the same as all the other brands that make stuff that... It gives me that... It's the same issue that I have with almost all cheap PC laptops, that whole thing where the hinges are screwed into the base of the machine and they use these shitty plastic grommets that break really easily, and then when the plastic grommet breaks, the entire base of the laptop is gone. That kind of lame stuff. iPad Rehab is married. Hey, you people stop asking out Jessa, because Jessa Jones is married. Happily married. Jessa's taken. No asking out Jessa in my chat. Ask out T-Rose or something. Did you ever think you were not going to be able to learn a certain concept while learning these repairs? Oh, absolutely. There's one video about the 820-2915 that I did sometime around this... Why is my iron not hot? You say 840, but you seem 80. Is my tip broken? I think I broke my tip. Crap. All right. Yeah, if you look at 820-2915 video from June or... no, it was July of 2014. I had no idea what I was doing. I was an idiot. It's a complete idiot. Like, you could watch that video and see for yourself. Yeah, I think the soldering iron tip is kind of screwy. Should probably replace it. Repeal. Replace. Repeal. Replace. Yeah. What is this? This does not look nice. What's that? Alright, so let's plug this in and see what's going on in this area. Get our measuring game on. Where would you suggest I start to improve my skills? Get broken machines like this where you don't have to care about a customer. You know, buy it so you're buying it broken, it's yours, you can fix it of your own free time and on your own schedule. Watch these videos and watch the edited ones though, not the live streams, and see what you can get from that. Interesting, now we're getting a light. Now we're getting a light. That's very interesting. So perhaps this just needs a little bit more cleaning in this area over here. Because that's all, those points are all red and nasty. Serendipity is correct. Where is that person that was asking if Jessa was single? We're just going to work on some of these probe points here. So this is the PP3V42 circuit responsible for PP3V42. So if these probe points are at all screwed up, it's going to cause us to not get that rail, which is going to cause us to not have a green light. So that's why I'm reworking this area so diligently. Because it's going to work and then not work and work and not work. So we're just going to scrape off the oxidation on those pads. Any of the junk. Even on the ones that are nice around that area, just to be safe. Just because. We're going to make sure that that all works. Did you go to school? I did, but I failed. How did you overcome these stages of non-comprehension? Staring at it, comparing working stuff to non-working stuff. That's something that would make sense with code as well. Like, I mean, you know, look at the answer key, and then look at what you did, and then constantly try to work back and see what it is that you did wrong and try to figure out why. Because you have to have a working model in order to know what it is that you did wrong. I'm not a traditional learner by any means. I always got unsatisfactories or needs improvement on my conduct in school. So, you know, it's great when you have something that you know works to work with, a known good, and you can compare your known good to the thing that doesn't work and go back and forth. That helped a lot. And having an incentive helped a lot. So, for example, I'm trying to teach myself Python, and I was doing a lot of the Code Academy stuff, and eventually it gets boring. But what I tried to do is apply one of my concepts. So I order parts every now and then, and sometimes I'll order parts for my website, but then it'll still say there's stuff out of stock, and I'll have to buy more parts, but I don't want to reorder the stuff that I already ordered that's being shipped here. So I created a little Python script that would check if any of the things that were on my out-of-stock list were on the list of stuff that was ordered and then I kind of tried to compare the code that I wrote to something that already existed. And you know, so you have to you find something that you're interested in, and then after you find something you're interested in, by the way, this one seems like it's good to go. Once after you find something that you're interested in, what I would do is compare the good to the bad. So I would have a known good board, and I would measure stuff, and then I would compare it to what was wrong, to the board that was dead, and try and figure out what was wrong that way. All right, so we've got another error here. It's dead. That error that just got fixed. You ever end up fixing the Bitcoin miner? Nope. Never heard from the company, never got any information. According to everything that I've read, that Bitcoin, that miner is a Dash miner, and it uses an algorithm where it's almost completely worthless at this point. Besides the fact that the entire thing looks fried from the top down, there's a really low chance of that working if I put a bunch of time and effort into it. I just spent half the day on a trolling audio circuit going back and forth between the broken one and the working one, and it worked in the end. I heard about that, Paul. I forgot to get a bottle of water. Boo. I'm thirsty. Going to order the hot tweezers for the new Hacko tomorrow. There should be a link below. If you click that, we'll be very, very happy. Oh, this is a 2012. Boo. These are junk. Let me guess, boiling PCH or something. Ugh. No light. Oh, the fan is spinning. Man, tell me I got 3 bad DC-in boards in a row, because that would just be funny. Like, Paul spent his entire day getting tortured on something. Paul, I think he went home early today just because he was... It was that same feeling that I used to have where I would spend 4 or 5 hours on one thing, and I would just want to go home and cry into my milk. And I've gotten 3 in a row that were like JTAG connector, 1-wire circuit. This feels really unfair. I'm sorry, Paul. If I were a good employer, if I were not an exploiter, if I were not a coercer, if I were not an evil capitalist, I would leave this one for Paul. Unfortunately, I'm an ass, so let's figure this one out too. I'm serious, I really didn't just grab easy ones. But, alright, so let's see if you could follow what I see. Do you see what I see? I can't tell if that's corrosion or something else. Alright. Is there more money in fixing laptops or writing code? I think there's more in coding. However, if you look at how bad I am at programming and how good I am at this, like I would say I'm top of my field at this. So being top of my field of a lame field is better than being at the absolute gutter bottom of a good field, at least for me at the moment. All right, so this, it's not dust. Yeah, it's just dusty, but not corroded there. This isn't the two. No, this is the one with the failing graphics chip. This is an error. No GPU. Okay, why are we not getting a light in the charger? Why are we not getting a light? What's up with this? What's up with this? I'm a lucky girl that I can fix my stuff self. Would you like to rephrase that? Well, thus you confess that you are exploiting his inner perfectionist. Yes, exploitation. I believe in exploitation. Alright, so it's turning on, and the fan is spinning really fast. Hear that? Oh, it just turned off. Alright, so let's see. Well, let's do a couple of experiments here. First things first, we're going to unplug the keyboard and the trackpad, because that can cause our light to go off. Alright, this is a boring one. See, the fan is not spinning really crazy now either. See, if I... Fan is spinning at a normal tone. Much better. See? Sound much better. So, this one was literally nothing but the keyboard and the trackpad. Oh man, Paul's gonna kill me. Paul, did you check the transistor between the ISL and the battery? Yeah. Coffee. Coffee. Sticky, sticky coffee. Alright, boring. Let's just leave some notes for myself before continuing, because I always forget to. I know, it's a pain in the ass, I'm sorry, but I have to leave some notes. Someone says, terapia tapioco primachora la super casera o schierzmo. Schierziamo. No clue what that means. No, no idea. Not even close. No idea what that means. Sorry. One of these that I already fixed apparently may also have no backlight. Alright, let's just double check and see if that's the case. And I see flux and stuff near the backlight connector. Near the backlight chip. Is that true? Am I supposed to test these for more than fan spin now? That can't be where we're at. Well, imagine that. And this one also may still be missing 3.42 volts at the DC-in board. Oh, lame. Lame, 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 lame. Yeah, this is the one that I ran the jumper on and I thought I got... This is the one that I didn't run the jumper on. It needs a jumper. Alright. Alright, shouldn't have been lazy. Should have ran the jumper. Noisy little... Probably should put a wire. If I really liked it, if I really wanted it to work, I would have put a wire on it. If you want it, you would have put a jumper on it. If you want it, you would have put a jumper on it. If you wanted it, you would have put a jumper on it. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. When your first try doesn't work, try again. And your first attempt to avoid running a jumper wire doesn't work. Try again. And you try communism once and it doesn't work. You don't try again. Okay. Let's see if that jumper's in the right place. You gonna work this time? You little deceptive little bastard, you. The person who says communism has never existed is retarded. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's put this in here. And plug you in. Okay, then. We have a light. But no backlight. So let's take a look at the backlight section. Okay, I see you with your corrosion under my backlight driver. I see you with your corrosion under my backlight driver. I'll replace you. I replace you. I replace you. I replace you. Here's the question that I've had typically for people that say that it wouldn't lead to ridiculous uprisings, violence, etc. So, if the means of production, let's say it's a publicly owned means of production, right? No private ownership of means of production. So let's say that this store, my friends and I, 7 years ago, helped put this together, build this, use the resources that I made from voluntary transactions, with people that were happy to pay me when there were alternatives to buy all the stuff that I have now. How do you transition that to public ownership? So let's say I say, all this stuff that's on my desk, I put all this stuff together. So this entire place with the donor boards and all the components laid out and everything categorized and organized so that all this stuff can be done in like 5 to 10 minutes a job. How do you transition that from me owning it because I paid for it and I built all this stuff to, and with people that I know, to public ownership? Let's say that a group of people walk in and we say, we think we're better than you at this and we want access to your means of production. And I say, fuck you, no. What goes on there? What goes on there? While I'm going to get myself the LED driver that I need, let's see if you can come up with an answer to how that's not going to end in a complete shit show. Let's get myself an LP8550. LP8550, LP8550. Here we go. Grab a nice little bin of them. All right. Da 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 da. I have an answer of hostile takeover. Yep. That's why. Very bad. Okay. The way the transition takes place is a group of armed people come in and drag you off and say this now belongs to the people and steal everything. Yeah, screw that. Shoot you and watch all your YouTube channels and take your business and destroy it. Yep. I will put a Dogecoin in the jar. Alright, I have just deposited a Dogecoin in the swear jar. A single Dogecoin. Clubba also has an interesting answer to that one. Lol. Okay. They would take away all my Dogecoin. Because that's the thing. You can come for the meter, and I'll let you take it. You can come for the hot air station, and I'll let you take it. You can come for the microscope, and I'll let you take it. But when you come from my Dogecoin jar, that's when it's going to get real. Alright. I don't have a Dogecoin address at the moment. I really got to add one. It's about time. Okay. You are the means of production, my friends. The people. I did put a Dogecoin in the swear jar. I've got at least 10 Dogecoin in the swear jar for this stream at this point. Why is it empty? Well, it's a cryptocurrency, man. It's a cryptocurrency. What do you expect? You can't see cryptocurrency, man. It's a concept. It's an abstract, bro. Alright. Next thing to do, let's see if my backlight fuse is blown. Dogecoins are really hard to see with the naked eye, like what Clubba says. Yes, Jess, I would let them take the JBC before the Dogecoin. Alright, so it looks like we've got 0 ohm resistance on the fuse, which is good. This capacitor looks like you gotta go. Off to the gulag with you. Off to the gulag with this capacitor. We're gonna knock it off the Jessa way. Jessa doesn't knock things off by just using any one of her $2,000 to $3,000 tools. That's one of the things with Jessa, you know. She has like a $1,500 hot air station, like $600 station with hot tweezers, but just to piss off her audience, just to like really rub it in their faces that she's got all the money and the power and the coercion and the extortion and the collusion and the exploitation, just to rub it in. What she does is she just knocks off the caps with a screwdriver, like just to make sure that you realize, hey, I've got all this nice stuff that you don't. I got this nice $1,600 hot air station, and I got these nice hot tweezers, and I got this nice microscope. But you know what? No, I'm going to knock stuff off the board with just a hunk of metal and go, and just leave the pads looking all nasty and gross. Just because. You know? I'm kidding. I like Jessa. She's a nice lady. Sometimes it's just fun to pick on her. Just a little bit. So we got to replace those two components over there. I've already tinned the pads, gotten them ready. What's up with the frog? That is Pepe. Nitrocaster sent me a Pepe frog for Christmas because he was awesome. You know. I like Jessa. Jessa's a good person. When the revolution comes, Jess and I are going to share a gulag cell together. Uh-oh. My component got lost along the way. Penguinator never answered my question too. So lame. I think I laid out a pretty fair scenario there for my question. So lame. Okay. We grab the cap. We grab the cap. And we grab the resistor. Will you ever do a live stream where you and Jess are in the same room together trying to teach each other and viewers what you know? Maybe. I gotta make some time for that. We gotta make some time for that. We may be going to some lobbying events. We may be going to some lobbying events in May. We'll make time for some wrestling and going over schematics. Mostly probably freeze spraying and beating each other up on camera. The last time Jessa was here, I had a freeze sprayer because she was assaulting me. What's the paste-like stuff he's putting on the board? That is NC559V2TF Amtech Genuine Flux. Buy it. Store.rossfomgroup.com today. Same-day shipping within the continental United States. Wait, no. Free shipping over 30 in the continental United States. Same-day shipping everywhere. Jessa doesn't want to share her gulag with me. What kind of... What kind? That's greedy. That's greedy. I need to come to New York. Mark gave a student a donor board that had nothing wrong with it. I need to see what is fixable in the MacBook stack. By all means. Absolutely. Alright, we're going to see if this works. What is the purpose of flux? It helps solder flow. Oh, at this point, you're just trolling. Oh, man. Does this have a funky connector on it or something? What about a cryptocurrency exchange robbery? I keep my cryptocurrencies locked up in a safe. I keep all my coins in the jar. I can't imagine keeping cryptocurrency on an exchange. Like, I buy it, and the moment it's purchased, off the exchange. Show me a light in the screen. Question mark folder. Come on. Come on. You can do it. At 24.91 volts, I know you've got to have a question mark folder. Show the world your pretty little question mark folder. Good little MacBook. Good little MacBook. All right. So we've got 3 fixed. The first one that I fixed, I didn't notice that somebody tried to replace the backlight driver. And let's see, what time is it? Do I have time for another one, or do I got to get a burrito? Ah, it's 9:05. I got to get myself a burrito. It's about time to get out of here now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. 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 Right, so that's about it for today. I have got to get out of here. I hope to be doing some more videos and some of the more common flaws with the Touch Bar MacBooks as time goes on. I've been making a little table for myself of some of the common issues, and I want to do a bit of a Touch Bar repair guide coming up in the next few months. So it's not just the same old of everything. As you can see, we do have a website where you can buy the quicks and all the hot air stations and all the stuff that you see here. Some of it, we get all the money. Some of it are just affiliate links to where we get 4 to 12% of the money, but part of being an evil capitalist, affiliate marketing. Lastly, since I've said that the ultrasonic cleaner over here cannot fit the touch bar boards very well, we've been like trying to clean them in a very not exactly perfect fashion. The touch bar boards are wider than any of the old boards were. So in addition to selling this one, we're going to be getting a new cleaner on the site that will be able to fit the touch bar ones. And I'm probably going to have to sell that one and get the one that fits the touch bar in. So I'll probably include a link to that. It's going to be the P1200. And we also got the cell phone size cleaner in the P230. That's it for shilling, that's it for teaching, and that's it for fixing. I got to get a burrito. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. And as always, I hope you learned something.